End of the day, when you really sit down and deeply think about it, you only get one life.
After the anticipated release of Jojo Siwa's EP, Guilty Pleasure, there has been a tidal wave of criticism for her latest antics, such as allegedly lying about performing on Eurovision and either her or her team allegedly copyright striking other creators. But if you're just checking in and you're new here and you're wondering who Jojo Siwa is a prominent figure in the entertainment industry, and she rose to stardom and fame at a very young age. This was mainly through the reality TV show Dance Mums, where Jojo Siwa became known for her dazzling bows, her dancing, and her vibrant personality. Then later on, when she started to go into her teenage years, she made the transition to YouTube, where she even made a song which garnered over 1 billion views, and such successes allowed her to amass a fortune over $20 million before she reached the age of 17, which I just completely commend. Well done, Jojo Siwa. Lately, for promotion for her new music and EP Guilty Pleasure, she's made a stark-ditch effort to completely rebrand herself away from all the kids' entertainment she used to be entangled into, and now she's trying to make an effort to market herself allegedly towards more mature audiences. This has led to a very polarized perception on Jojo Siwa as a whole, the entertainment industry as a whole, and what we view as profitable, and also the pitfalls and failures of Jojo Siwa's team. For example, we previously covered where Jojo Siwa was using a merch design which closely resembled the logo for Tool, and whether or not that was Jojo Siwa's idea or not, I lean more towards that it was someone on her team and she just thought it was a cool design and okayed it. I doubt she knew who Tool were. So whenever I'm looking at all of Jojo Siwa's stuff, I'm always taking it with a little bit of a pinch of salt, and I'm always taking into account how many people there are behind the scenes managing Jojo Siwa and conveying that she should do different ideas and go on different things and yada yada da. I'm always aware of how manufactured this is. To bring us right up to the present, Jojo Siwa has just been a part of a new interview with People, and it's 7 rules Jojo Siwa lives by. So I'm very excited to get into some wisdom and some teachings from someone who is successful in an industry that I'm sure lots of you guys would like to be a part of. So let's get right into it, shall we?
At the end of the day, when you really sit down and deeply think about it, you only get one life. And I think it's now, as humans, you're faced with the choice of, can I be happy or am I gonna be miserable, right? What up, everybody? I'm Jojo Siwa, and these are my rules for life.
And I would say that's very true. You gotta live life like we just got this one time, make the most of it. Classic advice. Keep going, keep pushing on through, guys. You guys have got this. I believe in every single one of you. Let's just venture on forth into more of Jojo Siwa's wisdom together.
Rule number 1, communication is key. Most people think it's impossible to work with family, right? But the realization that you gotta have is, working with family is very hard.
Say you're sorry. But why should I say sorry?
It's tough because, of course, you're balancing a personal relationship with a professional relationship, but you always gotta remember, at the end of the day, your family is your family, and your personal relationship is always gonna matter so much more, because you can be the most brutally honest with each other and still care for each other at the end of the day.
Also a very good rule, communication is key. I'm terrible at communication with people. I really should check up on people, message all my close friends and all that good stuff. And even communication and collaboration with like artistic works, I'm always very boxed in, and I don't really like to let many people into like all that kind of stuff. That's definitely something I'll take on board, open communication or better communication. Very good morals. I think we could all learn a little bit from Jojo Siwa.
Rule number 2, anytime you're sad, do 10 jumping jacks. I recently had my 21st.
That is very good advice. And I know many other people who are probably going to make a video on this, they're going to make some jokes like, oh, if you're depressed, just do jumping jacks or just get some exercise. They're going to be like, ha ha ha, and they're going to take the mick out of this. But it is a very good idea. Get the blood flowing, good for the brain. Probably will make you feel a lot better if you've done 10 jumping jacks after any situation.
I recently had my 21st birthday. Everybody saw it be a really fun day online, but it was actually ruined by somebody who was very close to me and who was with me on that day. But
oh no, what happened? That's the day where we've already logged this. We looked at this. That's the day where Jojo Siwa had a lot to drink, it would seem, at Disneyland. That's what happened. I'm very upset to hear that day was ruined. You know, it looked like quite an enjoyable time.
I took a breath and I realized that she was going to be with me all day, but there was other people there as well. And so I made the choice to not let the one person ruin the day and let the other people that were there have the best day. And I think that was me faced with a choice of I could sob and be miserable this day, or I could choose to get up, take a shower, do 10. Every time I'm sad, I say do 10 jumping jacks. Because if you do 10 jumping jacks, you're going to forget about being sad. Just get up and do 10 jumping jacks, move your blood around, and it saves you.
I can see the logic in that. As soon as you've done 10 jumping jacks, you're thinking, like, what was the fuss all about? I've just been able to do 10 jumping jacks. Nothing else matters. Good stuff. Good stuff. I like what Jojo said about, you know, you could either mope and cry about it or do 10 jumping jacks. I was watching this video. It's like some psychologist talking, and someone said to them, you're going to walk that path whether you like it or not. You can either go squealing like a pig, being dragged to the slaughter, or you can go with as much dignity and grace as you can. And I think doing 10 jumping jacks shows a lot of dignity and grace, because what else is more graceful than flying in the air and making yourself out to look like a star?
Don't get me wrong. I had the best 21st birthday ever. My best friends in the whole wide world were there. My family was there. It was awesome. I definitely woke up that morning, and no one knows this, I cried for the first 2 hours of that day. And I could have let those first 2 hours ruin the whole day. But then I'm lucky, my best friend Tyler called me and he was like, come on over, we got bagels in the room for you, bagels for the birthday girl. And I was like, Ty, you have no idea, you just saved me today. And yeah, it was a great day then. Rule number 3, make time for what you love.
Oh, I love this rule. This rule is fantastic. If you guys have been following the channel, you might have realized, that's been a long time since he's uploaded. I've been taking time out to do exactly that, you know, make time for what I love. And I am a musician at heart. I always will be a musician. You know, I started this journey doing YouTube as a kid, but then I found music a bit later on, and music is what fully saved me. And I feel like I'll always be attracted to YouTube in some way or sense. I feel like it's something I've got to reconcile here. But yeah, I couldn't take much time away from music without my brain just shouting at me, being like, why have you stopped doing the thing that you love to do the most, being creating music? And I had no good answer. So I sort of got possessed by the muses. I made some music, which I suggest everyone does. You know, make time out for what you love. Making music is very healthy. And if you don't believe me, I found this little science study online to do with making music and its benefits. And the title is Music Making as a Tool for Promoting Brain Plasticity Across Lifespan. And they actually found that higher IQ has also been reported in children who have received musical training. For example, engaging in musical practice in childhood predicted academic performance and IQ at the university level. This effect persisted even when family income and parents' education were controlled for. Thus, there appears to be some support for the effects of musical lessons on intellectual development. So I recommend anyone who's inspired by Jojo Siwa to learn music and start singing, pick up an instrument. It's very good for your health, especially if you've got kids. Get them into music, man. Good stuff.
Dance is my little emotional outlet. Dance, I am able to go in my studio, play the song, play the music, and I can escape. If I'm having a bad day, you know, I can play a song and I can envision dance steps in my head and it can distract me. I think it's the most positive distractor ever. To make a dance move, a signature Jojo move, you can take any dance move and I can put my little stamp on it. Dance has helped me overcome a lot. I find that anytime I'm going through sort of a little meant to be sadness moment in my life, I always will turn to dance for some reason. And I think it's because that's my childhood passion. And one of my best friends in the world, G Flip, have been playing their Nintendo Switch a lot, and it's to heal their inner child. And I was like, that's interesting, because I feel like for me to heal my inner child is I turn to dance.
Okay, now that is also very interesting and very good. I feel like a lot of people, again, would just knock Jojo Siwa, would be like, you can't dance, you can't do this. Why are you teaching kids to do your dance moves? It's just, live in a society or whatever. I think nonetheless, if you're inspired to dance, don't be dissuaded by anyone taking the mick out of Jojo Siwa for dancing, because it can be incredibly healthy. So yeah, if you don't believe me, here's this article from Harvard Medical School that I found. Now, if you're wondering why I'm doing this, it's because I have little to no interest in Jojo Siwa. I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna come clean, and I feel like I should communicate to you guys that this has inadvertently become some kind of job for me. It's become a source of income. And another reason why I've sort of taken a little break is to work out how can I make this beneficial in a more of a net positive way. And I feel like by venturing into the internet, going to these topics such as Jojo Siwa, etc., etc., but then being able to hold some actual facts and truth that will hopefully benefit you guys in some way or form. So we're not only breaking down Jojo Siwa's antics, we're also helping to hopefully build someone up with just some actual knowledge, rather than something that's just, I don't know, just complete waffle, because it is just immensely hard for me to take the position where I have to be overly critical about someone that I really don't care about. And that's the honest truth. So let's continue. In this Harvard University article, it says, in a small study undertaken in 2012, researchers at North Dakota's Minot State University found that the Latin-style dance program known as Zumba improves mood and certain cognitive skills such as visual recognition and decision making, which is very important. You need visual recognition skills, otherwise you wouldn't be able to recognize your grandma, and that obviously helps with dealing with patterns, which then leads on to the other benefit, which is decision making. Better decision making is something that we all need and is very important, especially at a young age where you're at school, and making wise decisions will set you up for a better future, supposedly. Other studies showed that dance helps reduce stress, increase levels of feel-good hormone serotonin, and helps develop new neural connections, especially in regions involved in the executive functioning, long-term memory, and spatial recognition. That's also important where we're in a society where today, where so many people have been diagnosed with ADHD, and that number is just rising up and up and up, and that deals with executive functioning and being able to make more neural connections. And I know that exercise is beneficial for people with ADHD anyways, so dancing pairs that with memory, coordination, all that good stuff. So yeah, that might be another reason as to why Jojo Siwa cites dance as having such a positive effect on them and quote-unquote healing their inner child. It does have a great health benefit, so I recommend you all get out there, start doing your guilty pleasure dances, start dancing around, and fire those neurons together.
Rule number 4, no bad blood. And in this movie, there was something in the script where my mentor in the movie told me as the character, she said, friends outgrow each other, and that's okay. And that, to me, that line, like, changed my life, because I was like, damn, like, I needed to hear that personally. And I think people do outgrow each other, and that's okay. But I'm one of the very lucky ones, because now I'm 21, and I am experiencing love for the first time, and it is true love, and it is magical, and it's made me realize that what I thought was love was not love, and I know I'm very young to experience that, but it's a really magical feeling.
Wonderful. I have nothing else to say or add on to that. You know, we all know how bad holding grudges is, and we all know how bad it is staying around people that aren't good for us. And yeah, friends do outgrow each other, and sometimes we all just move on just so we can grow that bit more. Having a lovely time watching a Jojo Siwa video. This is what we do on the Murray's Annie channel. Welcome, and if you are enjoying this video, please be sure to subscribe. This is probably just how I'm going to have to continue making videos from now on, just finding bits of knowledge so I can feed my brain, as well as hopefully just giving bits of information that give you guys inspiration. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. We're going to transmute it. We're going to transmute the internet. Come on. Come with us. Let's do it.
Rule number 5, don't overthink it. Honestly, for me coming out, there was no decision process. It was never, ooh, should I or shouldn't I? It was always, okay, I'm going to tell the world, but I don't know how. It wasn't necessarily like, hey, world, I'm gay. It was more like, hey, world, I got a partner now. This is cool. Rule number 6, stand out. It's interesting because I think we live in a world today where people are scared to be different.
Sometimes it's good to stand out, other times probably isn't so good to stand out. But I feel like as long as you keep a good rapport around you, make a good name for yourself, you know, serve those around you, stand out from the crowd by being good. That's probably the way to do it. Just be you. Just be you, man.
I think that there's nothing wrong with being different. There's nothing wrong with being a little weird, a little out there. And I think not being afraid to be judged. Shane Dawson said this quote back in the day, and he's something along the lines of, everybody in public is worried about themselves. Nobody's judging you. And that to me has really stuck with me throughout my life, being like, no one really cares that much. Everyone's so involved in like worrying about themselves. And so one
That is actually also very good advice. You know, when you're scared about doing something, you're scared about public perception, just realize no one really cares. Everyone is so, as to repeat, Jojo Siwa is very concerned with what's going on in their own lives. Like me, I have no interest in Jojo Siwa, but you guys do. So I'm here to serve you guys in the ways that I know how. And all I can do is sort of filter the internet through my flesh lens and just sort of stand in the way of it. Like Spider-Man, but a sieve. Spider sieve.
you can wrap your head around that of if you're a little embarrassed because of your outfit or you're a little embarrassed to make a TikTok in public, people are going to see it for 1 second and move on with their life. You are going to be okay.
Like the Lamborghini, like the faces on the Lamborghini. You know, we all just moved on from that. Fair enough. Putting the proof in the pudding, putting your money where your mouth is, or your face where your car is.
Rule number 7, life is a game. Don't be afraid to play it. I think for me when I'm
It's time to play the game. It's time to play the game. Sorry, I had to.
Life is a game. Don't be afraid to play it. I think for me, when I'm finding a style, it is how can I be so messed up? How can I be so weird? How can I be so whack? That for me is something that I have a lot of fun with, is how can I take somebody and make them turn their head at me and go, why is she wearing that? What is she doing? Oh, what's she wearing now?
That's exactly the thought process that goes into my mustache. No, I was going to shave before this video, but then I thought, what if I shave and then it does that thing where there's just like, little cuts and like, it's red and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I want to get this video done. I'm going to keep this just for this video. And then we'll see. We'll see what happens next time.
It's a fun game for me to play. Something that makes a memorable fashion statement is makeup. I think that truly has the potential to make or break a look, whether you're afraid to go to that next level or not. Because an outfit's crazy. Me wearing the fur ball, it's crazy. But the green makeup is what took it over the edge.
I don't need to say anything. Jojo, you're completely right. The green makeup is what took it over the edge. If dressing up like a furry ball wasn't enough, the green eye makeup took it there. You're right.
And look, I am down to try anything. I always tell people, I'm like, think of as weird as you can get or as crazy as you can do or something you're too afraid to have ever done before, and that's what I want to do.
And that is actually another great bit of advice. Go towards what you're scared of. And I had to really evaluate myself, be like, am I scared of YouTube? Am I scared of YouTube? If I'm scared of YouTube, that means I have to do it. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to have to figure out ways to help, or I'm going to have to figure out ways to serve you guys in a much better way. So that's what I've been doing. Fear itself, funnily enough, the root word of fear, if you go on the etymology website, it comes from the Proto-Indo-European root, a lengthened form of the verbal root per, which means to try, to risk, to lead, forward, through, in front of, or before. So it's pushing through all your fears. Your fear literally means to go through. So that's what we're doing on YouTube. Welcome to the Murray's Annie's channel. If you stuck around for this long, this video, and you actually enjoyed it, which I'm so eager to see who comes by, who's receptive to this thing we're doing over here. And if anyone's still around, I have been gone for quite a while, but I'm back again. So yeah. Hope you guys are enjoying this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know. Yeah? Tune me in.
Those are all the rules that I live by, and I gotta admit, I highly recommend them. I love y'all, and thanks for watching.
And I've got to admit, I highly recommend a great big bunch of those as well. So thank you, Jojo Siwa. That's been a great video. Look it in. And I feel like before we wrap this video up, Jojo Siwa, in the time I was away, did release the new EP. And I have listened to it today, where I listened to the songs that we haven't listened to already, and I wrote some notes. I like the instrumental for the first 2 tracks, and I like the simplicity and cleanliness of the bass line of Balance Baby, and it had a cool little rap verse. I like the cadence that Jojo picked up there. Thought it was alright. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one, whatever it'll be. Peace.